All right. All right. Summer is done. What a crazy summer we had. We're starting off the fall with International Podcast Day. Golf clap for Barfly, golf clap for International Podcast Day. We had to do an episode to talk about RT Sidebar, the greatest respiratory podcast in the world. I'm here with JJ the RT, JJ Valdez, and Mindy Conklin. So super excited to have you guys on RT Sidebar, the respiratory podcast for respiratory therapists. Talk about everything respiratory. I'm just super excited. Guys, I feel like I haven't seen you all summer. Like it's been crazy. Mindy, you just got back from Hawaii. You have such good things going on. Really, Mindy, give it a little shout out. Just say, hey, what's going on? Say hi to all the barflies.
Hi, it's been a long summer without seeing everyone. I think the last time I saw you guys, we were in Texas together, and then we kind of all went our separate ways, which has been, because we've been all been busy. It's been a fantastic summer, so I'm glad to be back with you guys. JJ, how about you? What are you excited for this podcast?
Oh my goodness. Like the summertime for us, especially at school, is the students go through 6, 7 classes in 10 weeks. So not only do the students have to get ready for all of that, but we have to get ready and do all of that as well. So it has been go, go, go. We are learning so much. We've got a brand new cohort that just started a few weeks ago. They are super excited. They're actually at the hospitals already. Week 5, they were at the hospital.
That's crazy.
And
That's
they're
exciting.
taking care of patients. They're doing everything, and it's absolutely amazing. So I'm excited.
Well, to all of your students, all your patients, Mindy, welcome. We're excited to have the new students. You're taking great care of our patients. But I really want to go back to this. For International Podcast Day, what I wanted to do more than anything else is review the summer. So, JJ, busy summer, getting ready for students. We did a lot of talking. We did a lot of podcast episodes. Give me your highlight of summer 2025.
Man, it was such a jam-packed summer with so many really good episodes. I mean, I remember a couple of weeks ago, I sent messages to our guests, right? I sent message to our guests because they were so good. I mean, everything was jam-packed, and there were so many good guests that we had, and there was such good content just to sit and stew on, and it was really good. But my favorite, Mindy, you might kind of throw a shot at me with this, but was our friend from Michigan, Nick Presh.
Oh, shots fired.
What he has going on with his 131 program and how that can transition. Once you finish that 131 program, you're an automatic to get a sit-down interview for a PA program is just amazing. It is increasing what the capacity and the level of what respiratory therapists can grow into. I really love the fact that there may be a possibility of a like unheard of merger in the future. That is insane. And just the things that he's able to do with his department, working at the University of Michigan, going from the number of vacancies that he's had to being completely full now. And he did something simple like changing the paint.
Yes.
He changed the paint in the department and they loved it. And all he had to do was put in a work order, a requisition. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Dr. Nick Prush, great champion of RT, good friend too. You know, Mindy, you can't blame him that he wears blue. I mean, maybe you can. But Nick, what I loved about Nick was a little shout out to my mom, a little Molly action, because math matters and math helps you get through respiratory school. I thought Nick's was absolutely fantastic. Mindy, how about you? You've been bebopping around everywhere. Tell us about your summer and what your highlight was.
Oh, I've had so much from, going there to Texas with you guys. I've had the boot camp I held for the APAP Association. I did the ventilator boot camp, which was awesome for the NPs and PAs. I had Mississippi, Indiana, and then Hawaii. They asked me to come speak in Hawaii. And I think, honestly, it's probably one of the highlights. I never thought I would ever go to Hawaii. But they asked me, they're like, would you want to come speak? And I was like, oh, absolutely. This is going to be my vacation. So I spent 10 days in Hawaii. I did 2 talks for their conference. I did my APRT talk, which they loved, but they really loved the long ultrasound talk. I did that, and then I had so many questions, and they want to incorporate that into their respiratory programs and learning in their departments, which is awesome. So I threw your name out there, JJ.
When you go back to do the hands-on training,
yeah.
When you go back to do the hands-on training, I've got my own ultrasound. I'll go with you.
Right.
You're volunteering to go to Hawaii. Yeah. I see what's going on here.
Yeah, JJ and I was talking. Yeah, we were talking because I was actually in the areas that he once lived. So which was really cool.
That's right. We saw some pictures, some pics.
Yeah, very pictures. But I think the highlight of my summer, and my daughter might kill me for saying this because it's not really public knowledge yet. Not only is she getting married, I'm going to be a grandma.
Oh yeah!
That is so exciting.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So wonderful.
So it's been a very busy and emotional summer, always around.
That's a great summer. I had a chance to bebop around all summer as well, going to different places. But I got to tell you, my favorite part of this summer was actually at the beginning when we were all together. I find that when we're able to be together and do podcasts like we did down in Lubbock, Texas, home of the Texas Tech, I believe, very important.
The undefeated Texas Tech, baby.
There you go. The undefeated Texas Tech was when we got a chance to just sit down and we're recording some episodes and we're talking to Ryan Bellamy, who came out to visit you in Hawaii, which was very sweet. Talked to Nick, talked to Brian Walsh. We talked to Melissa. We talked to Memorial Herman. We talked to everybody. But, and I love our guests. But I just love being with you guys, being able to talk about respiratory, nerd it up a little bit with friends that I really appreciate. We had Alicia there to produce in real time. It was just beautiful. And that was the beginning of the summer. And, coming back to this, when Alicia says, hey, we got to get a podcast in for International Podcast Day, I go, we got to just get everybody back together because it's been so freaking long.
Yeah.
But it's just been absolutely fantastic. We had highlights, but, we do pretty well on social media. We got JJ the RT, Instagram. Mindy, you're killing it on TikTok, by the way. Killing it. Just getting the APRT word out there, but more than anything, you're getting feedback. We're getting feedback from listeners. So, Mindy, tell me a little listener story that you heard along your travels this summer.
Oh, I have a whole list of listener stories. But actually from Melissa Walsh, I actually talked to her this morning, and some of her favorite moments from the summer was actually hearing my presentation for the APRT at her conference. She said it was a huge highlight for her, which made me feel good because, I'm here to inspire. She loved the way that I inspire other people. She also loved being on the podcast. Beautiful. She said, being on the podcast is awesome. And she is so looking forward to the shift. She was part of the shift, which we'll talk about here later on. She's like, it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity for her. I have to give it a shout out to Maria Madden too. She said summer forum was a highlight for her.
Yeah,
getting
absolutely.
to see her work friends and then spending the summer at the beach with all of her kids together. And John Shelburne from Mississippi, he was excited to be at the Tri-State Conference, but he was even more excited to listen to my 2 presentations. That's what he said to me. That. And I was like, that's really cool. Just to get feedback. Cool. So
that is phenomenal. I love when we can have our listeners give us some feedback. That's why I like when we're in person. Like we're in-person conferences, we get so much feedback. I got a really interesting one, a great story off of social media. I just want to throw it out there. And it is from a friend. somebody I've known for a very, very long time. Of course, as I click on it, it goes away, but that's usually what ends up happening. Let me pull it up. So, from a friend, been around for a long time, good respiratory therapist, great respiratory therapist, probably. But I've known him, somebody I've looked up to, and that's Dave Crotwell from Seattle. Gave me a story. Like Alicia goes, just ask for stories and see what happens. So Dave said this: I resuscitated a 45-year-old guy in the vitamin aisle of Whole Foods. He was pulseless with agonal respirations. I was the only one to respond, and I did CPR for 12 minutes until the medics arrived. They defibrillated him 3 times and got ROSC, return of spontaneous circulation. See, I told you, JJ, I'm still an RT. I told you.
Well, it's your wife that says you're not an RT.
Yeah, she tells me what to do. They took him to the hospital, and he walked out 4 days later with 0 deficits. He met him 2 months later, reminded him how special it is to be healthcare. So, Dave, good friend, thank you so much for that story. But those are the type of stories I love to hear. I love when they get into the weeds of these stories and we start to pull it out. It's almost like we were there. Like he tells the story. I feel like I'm standing in Whole Foods watching him. Like it was just so cool.
Yeah.
JJ, how about you, my friend?
You know, we were given homework.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we were.
And, you know, in true JJ the RT fashion, waited till the last minute. And so I reached out to JS, right? JS John at Texas State. And I asked him, I was like, hey, man, what was your highlight of this summer, 2025? And he simply sent a picture of me and Dr. Chris Russian from TSRC in Lubbock.
Yes.
And you start thinking about all the people that were at that state conference. You had the 3 of us. You have Alicia. You had Lori Tinkler that was there. You have like the Dr. Brian Walsh. You have the Melissa Walsh. You have the respiratory coach. You have Anita Respondic. You have Crystal Brenner. You have just lists.
100%.
Sarah Veracogitz, right? She was there, right? We had just so many different people. Anita and Casey, and just the simple conversations that he was able to have with everybody while he was at the state conference. That's why it's so important to go to these conferences, not only to get that information that you glean from the presenters, but the side conversations, the hallway conversations, the booth conversations that you have while you're talking to the other attendees. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful sight. It's amazing when you go to those conferences and you connect and you can start to collaborate. I mean, I wouldn't know either one of you without that level of collaboration.
Exactly.
And it is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, another one that kind of comes to mind there is Wendy, our good friend, Dr. Wendy Stout from California.
From California, yeah.
Right. She was at Summer Forum, and right after Summer Forum, she left to Japan. And while they were in Japan for vacation, her uncle had a massive PE that broke loose.
Oh, no.
And he went into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
But because ECMO was their standard of practice for PEs when they come into the ED, this man was on ECMO within 45 minutes.
Whoa.
And he walked out of the hospital less than 5 days later.
Oh my God.
Those stories, man, they're just amazing what we can do and you know, as healthcare providers, you know, to save lives every day.
It's amazing. But you know, that story and just the idea of having ECMO on standby for these massive PEs in the ED wouldn't be as commonplace unless stories were told, just like what we're doing. Just like I mean, you go back in history and how did we chronicle that history? It was through storytelling. It was through what we are doing right now. And how can one person, 2 people, 3 people hearing this story of Wendy's uncle that had this massive PE that most would not suspect to live is walking 5 days later. seeing his cardiologist in the United States weeks later, and the cardiologist is like, it's a miracle you're here. That level of care in that like intensive environment in the emergency department, having ECMO on standby is amazing, and it saved a life. It saved a life.
Yeah, I do have to mention Sydney Scott. I work with her. She's one of the pulmonary disease educators at the VA. In the middle of the night during the summer, she heard chaos outside of her door, and her neighbor is a mom of 3 kids, I believe, was having an asthma exacerbation, went into cardiac arrest, and she had to give CPR in her pajamas like 5:30 in the morning until EMS got there, and she made a full recovery. So, what we learn, we do every day to save lives can save lives out in the public setting, whether it's a grocery store or outside your apartment. So I want to kudos to Sydney, because she came into work that day after this event, and her adrenaline was pumping.
Oh,
and
I bet it was.
She was just waiting to hear, is she okay? Because she's a mom. Did I do enough to save her life? So
wow.
I think, whenever I think of RT Sidebar, I think of being an RT. We're in the people business. That's what we are. We have all of our tubes and pieces and parts, but we're in the people business. Telling stories, listening to other stories inspires us to be better every day. So I want to say I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for Alicia, thankful for our families that we have this opportunity to have a podcast and talk about all these awesome things. So JJ, I want you to finish us up. Okay. We have an action-packed fall coming up. Why don't you tell us what the next couple things that are coming up and a super special little episode with some collaborations with some friends. So JJ, finish us off, buddy.
Yeah, this next season that we're coming in this fall, we have some great episodes that are going to come out. We have brand new guests that you've never heard before, guests that you have seen before, and we're just going to take what we've been doing and continue to grow it. That is what we're doing. We want to continue to inspire, we want to continue to educate, and we want to continue to grow this community, this barfly community. So one of the ways that we can continue to grow that is by celebrating today, International Podcast Day, and you guys can celebrate with us. Okay, you can do that by sharing RT Sidebar along with any of your social medias, whether that's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, it doesn't matter. Go out and reshare the information and the clips that we put together. So if you want to be a part of that, you are welcome to do that. Every time that you pass the show along, our community will grow just a little bit stronger. So we want to encourage you guys to share what you see and what you hear on RT Sidebar. The other thing, and Mindy dripped it a little bit, okay? She wasn't being messy, she was being strategic. Okay?
Oh, absolutely.
She dripped it a little bit. But our very own respiratory coach is doing something insane. I've had conversations with him, and it's been one of those, if you could have an obscenely grandiose imagination, what would you do? And he actually took that and ran with it.
Yes, he did.
This guy has put together a series of 6 episodes of what it looks like to be a respiratory student moving into the world of respiratory therapy, and he's recorded it. They did an overnight shift with special guests. You guys know Melissa Walsh. She's already been dropped that she's on that. They have Dana Evans from the AARC president as a guest judge that is evaluating these students on a number of different topics. You guys are going to get to see this coming forward. It is actually coming out the week of Respiratory Care Week. It'll be dropping on Respiratory Coach's YouTube channel. So get ready, set that little bell so that you know when this happens. It's going to be dropping Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Time, I believe is what we said. But it is exciting stuff to see exactly what he's doing with that obscenely grandiose imagination. I wish we had more of that.
No, and I love it, JJ, because he's invited RT Sidebar to be a part of this and interview some of the contestants. I would call them contestants, I guess,
Sure.
right? And Linda Nozart as well. So like our family, our network continues to grow. So congratulations, Joe Lewis, respiratory coach. We love you to death. Thank you so much for involving us. JJ, thank you. Mindy, thank you. Want to end us out?
It's a blessing to be a part of this. It is
Blessed.
a blessing to be
Super
a part of
blessed.
this. Thank you
Yes.
guys very much. Mindy, take us away.
Oh, yeah. Well, great summer. We're looking forward to a great fall. I do want to take a moment just to say thank you to all of us respiratory therapists, especially with everything that's been going over the last several months with the tragedies that we've seen. And we know RT's at bedside with every single thing that comes in. So bless you. You know, I appreciate you and what you do for all of our patients and for the field of respiratory care. So until next time, guys, I'm excited about this season.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
David Thurman does not practice medicine or provide medical services or advice. Any clinical recommendations provided herein are solely those of the speaker. Practitioners should refer to the full indications for use and operating instructions of any products referenced before use. Hosts and producers are paid employees or consultants of David Thurman, and our guests are not compensated.